What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch the video to the end and hear the full story and all the details in the case. For all the day one fam, welcome back. Y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. Being in love can be a beautiful thing. Finding that person that makes you feel complete and like nothing else in the world matters but what y'all got going on. And if you are lucky enough to bring a life into the world with that person, it can make that bond even stronger. But just like most things in life, nothing or nobody is perfect. All relationships have problems, and everyone handles their issues in different ways. Some people decide to walk away if tempers are at a rise and come back later to resolve the issues. Some couples fight all day and feel as though there's nothing wrong with that because, hey, that's just their love language. But the thing about being in love is you can also fall out of love. And if one person in the situation still has feelings and the other one is trying to move on, things get crazy. Fellas, as a man, depending how you are, and if you have a baby mother, we all know dudes who feel like once they put a baby in a woman, they got them for life. Some dudes get jealous just thinking about someone else around their kid. To the point I remember breaking up with a girl because she was letting her baby father run her life from prison with 45 years, telling her what to do and who she can be with. It just wasn't worth it to me. As men and women, we got to know if something is over, it's done. Don't go crazy when that person decides to move on. The flip side to that is some circles might be so small that they end up dealing with someone you know, and some people's emotions won't let them see that happen. Now it becomes super crazy because a person feels disrespected. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we will be taking it to Linden, New Jersey to discuss a case of a man that snapped when he found out his homie and baby mother were dealing with each other. According to sources, back in 2017, 24-year-old Shanzy Abernathy was trying to figure out life with a child and living in Jersey, just trying to make a way. The man was God-fearing and most say was cool and laid back. Shanzy's homie and neighbor was a man named Alfonso Pearson, who lived right next door to Shanzy and his family in the 800 block of Cleveland Avenue in Linden. The two families were close, spoke to each other every day, and the two men even hung out and had some of the same friends. But around about fall 2017, things would go left, and the two men would start beefing. After Shanzy started to feel like Alfonso, or Al, what everyone called him, was creeping with his baby mother behind his back. Shanzy felt disrespected. That word was going around that his homie and neighbor was dealing with his child's mother. The two families remained cordial, and allegedly, Shanzy played it cool. The men would have a few words back and forth, but that was about it, because at the time, he didn't have any real evidence the two were seeing each other. The young man still had a relationship in some sense with the young lady, and on December 11th, 2017, Shanzy would make a mistake that changed the lives of everyone around him. While he was around his child's mother, he went through her phone and saw text messages from Al and her. The young man was heated and felt betrayed by both parties. Allegedly at this time, he made up his mind he was going to deal with Al, letting everyone in the circle know he was looking for the man. As friends tried to intervene and tell Shanzy to let it go, he told one of them, "We don't fight round here. When I see Al, it's on sight, and I'm going to bust him for disrespecting me." 9 days would go by with Shanzy's father trying to talk to him and reason with him, letting the young man know just leave it alone and leave it in God's hand. But he wasn't trying to hear that. He was trying to see Al face to face. And on December 20th, 5 days before Christmas, the neighbors and once homies were running to each other right outside their homes. Shanzy's pops once again told him, let it go. It wasn't worth it. And don't approach Al before he went outside. But it wasn't nothing he could do about it. Shanzy allegedly approached Al, and the two men got into a heated exchange about the situation. Then moments later, in broad daylight, shots went off. Neighbors and witnesses quickly called local police to report loud pops coming from the block. Police pulled up to the neighborhood in the 800 block of Cleveland Avenue around about 12:45 p.m. to find a man laying outside his home, suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest. The victim was rushed to a local hospital, where unfortunately, he didn't survive. He was later identified by family and friends as 27-year-old Alfonso Pearson, or Al. As investigation started, witnesses told police about an altercation and a man fleeing the scene after the shooting. Al's mother stated she heard commotion, heard a shot, and seen her son grab his chest and fall back. People who knew the situation between the two neighbors let officers know, and they quickly realized Shanzy wasn't nowhere to be found. The next day, a warrant was put out for the young man on first-degree murder charges and weapon charges. Shanzy would eventually turn himself in that same day, and allegedly in an interview with police admit to what he did to Al. The two families were in shock and couldn't believe things went left between the friends. Shanzy was taken into custody, and eventually the case would make it to trial. Witnesses would testify that the young man told everybody when he saw Al, it wasn't going to be a fight, but a blick going off. They also stated Shanzy texted Al and told him he had something for him when he called him. Prosecutors argued the young man had 9 days after sending the text messages between his child's mother and Al to let it go, but instead he went to find a blick and planned for a hit. Shanzy spoke out to Al's family before sentencing, telling them he was sorry and the two were really brothers. None of this was ever supposed to happen. Due to the circumstances, some feeling like the young man acted off of jealous rage, Shanzy was found guilty, but not of first-degree murder, but first-degree manslaughter, and sentenced to 24 years in prison. Al's family spoke out, saying no matter how much time he got, nothing would bring Al back, and they were confused how someone they spoke to every day would do this. Rest in peace to Al. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to his family. I know most people will hear this and feel like how Shanzy felt, that his friend crossed the line with his baby mother, but despite what we think, that's not a death sentence. You could have just cut both parties off and just take care of your child. Because if she was that cruddy enough to deal with your homie, she wasn't worth it in the first place. The crazy thing is, what I would never understand about situations like this, you take the life of the dude, you go to jail, and the woman is still free, out here with the next man and your kid. So what you tried to prevent from happening, happens anyway. Don't react off emotions, because the best revenge is success and the art of keeping it moving if it's not meant to be. So remember, we got to succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, it's a crazy story, you feel me? Two homeboys, it went left. I know a lot of y'all gonna say, well, Al shouldn't have crossed that line and dealt with his baby mother. But I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know the situation. People be in volatile relationships. She might have been done with bro, you see what I'm saying? And I ain't saying it's right, man, but like I said, at the end of the day, that don't mean take a life. You know, you just gotta take that as an L. You gotta cut them off and feel like, look, both of them did me wrong. They cruddy. I ain't even dealing with them no more. I'm gonna just take care of my child. But instead, you know, he got 24 years in prison, and another man lost his life, and the two families who were cool, now they gotta live with that. But y'all already know, man. Leave it in the comments. That's another episode of Hood Tales. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.